Okay, so you guys have sent in some really fascinating stuff about taking control of how you make money with your content.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what we're going to be diving into today.
Right.
We're going to pull out some really actionable things you can do, like right away, to start making money from the content you create.
Absolutely.
And the key is not just relying on, brand deals and sponsors and
Right.
all of that stuff, or traditional advertising, which can be really unpredictable.
Yeah, I mean, the resources that you've sent are really interesting because they all focus on this idea of what they call self-sponsorship,
Okay.
which is really compelling.
Yeah.
It's this idea that instead of, waiting for those opportunities to come to you, you can actually leverage what you already have,
Right.
your content and the audience you're building,
Yeah.
and find ways to generate revenue directly from that. It's about having that immediate control and really aligning your income with the value that you're already providing.
Okay. So self-sponsorship.
Yeah.
So it sounds simple enough, I guess. Right.
But what does that actually mean for someone to sponsor their own content?
So essentially, you're taking ownership of how you monetize your work.
Okay.
Instead of relying on, those external advertisers or hoping that ad revenue is going to, magically appear.
Right.
You're strategically weaving in your own offers into the content you're creating.
Okay.
And these offers could be your own products, could be services you provide, could even be very carefully curated affiliate recommendations.
Okay.
So you're essentially in the driver's seat when it comes to generating that income.
So you're not waiting for someone to come to you and say, "Hey, we like your content. Here's some money to talk about our thing."
Exactly.
You're saying, "I'm going to offer things that are related to what I'm already doing."
Yeah.
That my audience is already interested in.
Exactly.
And just sort of folding it into what I'm already doing.
Right.
So let's break that down a little bit.
Right.
Can you give us some specific examples that would be relatable to people creating content? Absolutely. So let's say, for example, you have someone who creates photography or videography tutorials.
Right.
Right. Instead of just showing how to do something, they could actually create and sell digital products that enhance that learning process.
Okay.
So think about it. You could have custom Lightroom presets that give a specific aesthetic.
Oh, okay.
Or you could have in-depth guides on mastering a certain editing technique.
Yeah.
Or even ebooks that cover these fundamental skills. And all of these things can be very naturally mentioned within their tutorials
Right.
as valuable resources that people can go to dive deeper, and they can provide direct links.
So your content you're providing for free
Yeah.
brings people in who are interested in that thing.
Yeah.
And then you upsell them or you offer them something that is more...
Exactly. It's an extension of that value.
Yeah. Deeper dive or something that helps them
It is.
achieve a certain look
Exact.
faster or something.
Right.
What if you don't have a product, though?
Right.
What if you're just starting out?
Well, if you're just starting out and you don't necessarily have your own product,
Yeah.
affiliate marketing can be a really effective entry point.
Okay.
The sources talk a lot about this.
Yeah.
And basically what you're doing is you're recommending products or services that genuinely resonate with your audience.
Right.
So let's say, for example, the camera gear that you use and trust in your videos.
Yeah.
You can include affiliate links in your description.
Yeah.
And if your audience finds that helpful and they make a purchase through your link, you earn a commission.
Right.
The key here, though, is that you're authentically recommending things that you actually believe in.
Yeah. So if you're reviewing like a piece of gear or software,
Exactly.
it seems perfectly natural to then link to it,
Absolutely.
as opposed to just having like a random ad.
Yeah, it's a much more organic integration.
Yeah.
And it feels much more authentic.
Okay. So this idea of value-driven marketing keeps coming up
Right.
in all of these materials.
Yeah.
Why is that so important?
Well, it's really the foundation. Okay.
The success of self-sponsorship isn't about aggressively selling your product.
Good.
It's about providing genuine value to your audience.
Right.
And your promotions should really feel like a natural extension of the helpful, informative, or entertaining content that you're already creating.
Right. So it has to be genuinely good.
Exactly.
And you can't just be like, hey,
Right.
check out this thing that I'm selling.
Yeah, because if your audience feels like your primary motivation is just transactional
Yeah.
and they're not really getting any benefit, they're going to disengage.
Right. You have to show them how this thing is going to solve a problem for them or
Exactly.
improve their lives in some way.
It's about demonstrating how that product or service directly addresses their needs.
Yeah, like how it's going to make their photos look better or their videos or whatever.
Exactly. Or make their workflow faster or more efficient.
Yeah, it can't just be like, hey, I made this thing, now buy it.
Right.
It has to be like, I made this thing to solve this problem that I know you have.
Exactly. And it's about building trust.
It's about fostering those long-term relationships with your audience.
Yeah.
And one of the sources touches upon this concept of servant leadership.
Okay.
So what does that actually mean for a content creator who is trying to monetize their work?
So servant leadership, I think in the business world, we think about, you know, people who are really high up
Yeah.
in companies who are in charge,
Right.
but they still see themselves as serving the people who work for them.
Exactly. It's about prioritizing your audience's needs and goals,
Right.
understanding their challenges, offering simple and effective solutions, and genuinely wanting to help them achieve their objectives.
Right. So you're coming at it from a place of how can I help you as opposed to
Totally.
how can I get you to buy this thing from me?
Exactly. And it shifts the focus from just making a sale
Right.
to building that genuine connection based on support and guidance.
Right. So understand your audience's pain points,
Absolutely.
understand what they struggle with,
Yeah.
and then offer solutions.
Right. And when you offer solutions that genuinely resonate with their needs,
Yeah.
you build a level of trust that goes far beyond just a single transaction.
Right.
And it makes them much more likely to be loyal and support your future endeavors.
It's because they know that you're looking out for them
Exactly.
and that you're not just trying to make a quick buck.
Exactly.
Okay, so another tactic that keeps coming up is this idea of a lead magnet.
Yes.
What is a lead magnet?
So a lead magnet is basically a valuable free resource that you offer to your audience in exchange for their email address.
Okay.
And this could be a variety of things. It
Yeah.
could be a helpful checklist, could be a insightful free guide,
Okay.
a useful template, or even a short focused mini tutorial.
Okay.
And one of the examples that the materials give is like a free essential gear list for photographers.
Oh, okay. That's a great example.
Right. It's something that's immediately valuable,
Yeah.
but you get their email address in return.
So you're giving away something for free that's actually good. And in exchange, you're getting their email address.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why are email lists so important?
Email lists are so important because they become your most direct and reliable line of communication with your audience.
Okay.
Unlike social media platforms where the algorithms are constantly changing
Yeah.
and you're kind of at the mercy of those changes,
Yeah.
your email list is something that you own and control.
Right. You're not relying on Facebook or Instagram or...
Exactly. You have that direct connection.
Yeah.
And it allows you to nurture relationships,
Right.
share important updates, and
Yeah.
also promote your offers directly to individuals who have already expressed interest in what you do.
So for someone who's listening to this and they feel a little overwhelmed with all this stuff, because it is a lot,
Absolutely.
what is like a good first step they can take to sort of start implementing some of this stuff?
I think the most important thing, and this comes up consistently in the materials, is to start with value. Your initial focus should be on creating high-quality content that truly benefits your audience.
Right.
Then you can start thinking about how you can naturally integrate mentions of your own product services or relevant affiliate links.
Right.
But they need to be offered as genuinely helpful resources and not as aggressive sales pitches.
Right. It can't just be buy my thing.
Right.
It has to be this will help you
Yeah.
and this is where you can get it.
And also start building your email list
Right.
by offering those lead magnets.
And it's okay to start small.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to try to do everything at once.
Don't overcomplicate things.
Right.
Pick one or two monetization strategies that feel the most authentic to you and your content and
Yeah.
your audience,
Right.
and build from there.
What is the next step you want people to take after watching your video or reading your thing?
Exactly. Have that clear call to action.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What is the one thing that you want your audience to do after they consume that piece of content?
Okay, so this idea of pick your brain requests
Right.
into something that you can sell is really interesting.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
So I think this speaks to a larger point, which is recognizing the inherent value of your expertise.
Okay.
If people are constantly coming to you for advice
Yeah.
or insights on a particular topic,
Right.
that's a signal that there's a demand for your knowledge.
Right.
So instead of just offering that advice for free
Yeah.
in these one-off conversations,
Right.
consider packaging it into a more structured and scalable format.
Right.
It could be an ebook that compiles your best tips.
Right.
It could be a short course that walks people through a process.
Yeah.
Or even just a detailed lead magnet that addresses a specific problem.
Yeah.
One of the examples that the materials give is somebody who offers advice on podcast growth,
Okay.
and they get tons of people asking them for help.
Right.
And so they created a course
Okay.
teaching people how to grow a podcast.
Right. So they took that thing that people were asking them to do for free and turned it into something
Exactly.
that they could actually make money from.
Right?
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that your knowledge and your time have value,
Absolutely.
and you shouldn't just give it away to everybody all the time.
Well, and if you enjoy giving it away,
Yeah.
create something that allows you to give it away to a lot of people.
Yeah, like scale it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about scaling your impact and also creating something sustainable for yourself.
Okay, and when you are sharing your expertise, always provide a next step
Right.
for people.
Absolutely.
Don't just give them information and then send them on their way.
Yeah.
Say, okay, now that you've learned this thing,
Yeah.
here's the next thing
Yeah,
you do.
exactly. Give them a way to deepen their understanding or access further resources.
Right.
It could be a link to a course, a downloadable guide, an invitation to book a consultation.
Okay.
And make sure you're genuinely enthusiastic about it.
Right. If you don't care about it.
Exactly. No one's going to care about it. Exactly. Your passion will be contagious.
Okay, so a lot of times we think that we need a massive audience to make money.
Right.
But it sounds like what these materials are saying is that you don't necessarily need a huge audience.
Absolutely not.
You can have a smaller niche audience
Right.
and still be really successful.
Exactly. And that's the power of niche audiences. They
Right.
have very specific, often underserved needs,
Right.
and they're typically much more willing to invest in solutions that actually address those needs.
Right.
So if you can establish yourself as an expert within a particular niche
Yeah.
and solve their pressing problems,
Yeah.
you don't need millions of followers to build a sustainable income.
It's about quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so another interesting thing you talked about was facilitating communities.
Yes.
How can building a community around something actually help you make money?
Well, when you cultivate a community around a shared interest, a passion, or a goal, you're no longer just a content creator, you're a connector.
Okay.
And this opens up a whole range of monetization possibilities.
That way.
You could offer premium memberships for exclusive access to discussions, resources, or events.
Okay.
You can facilitate partnerships and collaborations within that community.
Okay.
You can host online or in-person gatherings.
Right.
You're creating this valuable ecosystem
Yeah.
where people connect and learn from each other.
Right. And you're the person at the center of it.
Exactly.
You're the one who's bringing everyone together.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like you're building a hub,
Exactly.
and then within that hub, you can
create those premium offerings.
charge for certain things.
Right.
Okay. So there's this idea of intentionally guiding your audience
Right.
through what they call a customer journey.
Yes.
So what does that actually look like?
It's about being strategic
Okay.
and intentional with every piece of content you create. So every video, every blog post, every social media update shouldn't just exist in isolation.
Right.
It should have a purpose.
Okay.
And that purpose is to guide your audience towards a specific desired action.
Okay.
It might be as simple as signing up for your email list,
Right.
or it might be taking that next step in their learning journey
Okay.
and purchasing a product or a service.
Right. So it's almost like a funnel.
It's a pathway.
Yeah. A pathway to get them to.
Exactly, to engage more deeply with your work.
Yeah. And ultimately buy something from you
Potentially, yes.
or sign up for your email list or something.
Right.
Yeah. And then the final thing is that you have to create things that you actually care about.
Right.
You have to create products and services that you genuinely believe in.
Absolutely.
Why is that so important?
Because when you're passionate about something
Yeah.
and you truly believe in its value
Right.
and its ability to help your audience,
Yeah.
that enthusiasm will resonate authentically with
Okay.
the people who are consuming your content.
Okay. So you're basically saying be authentic.
Exactly.
Don't try to sell people something that you don't believe in.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
If you don't believe in it, they won't believe in it either.
So we covered a lot of stuff today.
Yeah, we went deep.
We went really deep.
We did a deep dive.
So let's just recap really quickly some of the most important actionable things
Yeah.
that people can take away from this.
Okay, so the materials really highlight a few important steps.
Okay.
You need to identify your niche
Right.
and your target audience.
Yeah.
You need to create high-quality content that addresses their needs.
Yeah.
You need to develop your own products or services. And digital products are often a great place to start.
Okay.
You need to sponsor your own content
Okay.
by mentioning your offers and having calls to action.
Yeah.
Leverage affiliate marketing, but make sure you're recommending things you actually believe in.
Right.
Promote your content across multiple platforms.
Yeah.
Use email marketing to build a direct and engaged audience. Optimize your content for search engines.
Okay.
Diversify your revenue streams over time.
Yeah.
and engage with your audience.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Absolutely.
Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just
Start.
start creating.
Putting stuff out there and learn as you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about that iterative process.
And it's all connected.
Exactly.
Your content leads to your products, leads to your email list.
Yeah, it all works together.
Okay, so I want you, the listener, to think about what your expertise is.
Yeah, what are you good at?
Yeah, what are you good at?
What are people always asking you for help with?
Yeah, what questions do you get asked over and over again?
Exactly.
Those are the things that you can turn into.
That's your starting
products and services.
Right.
Okay, so the big takeaway here is you, the listener.
Yes.
You have the power to start making money from your content.
Absolutely.
Like right now.
Right now.
By taking control of the process.
By offering genuine value.
Right?
You can build a really sustainable and awesome income stream from the things that you're creating.
And it can be so fulfilling.
Yeah.
Because it's aligned with your passion.
Yeah. So here's a final thought for you.
Yeah.
What is one tiny little thing that you can do today?
Yes.
To start down this path?
Right.
Towards self-sponsorship.
Exactly.
Towards building your audience.
Yeah.
What is one little thing you can do today?
It's often those small steps that taken consistently that lead to the biggest results.
It all starts with one little thing.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, on that note, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
For another deep dive.
Bye.